Hello, welcome back to another quick video. This one is actually a long overdue video. Today we're going to be looking at ranches, specifically hatch ranches, but realistically this is a bit of a general all-purpose ranch. Now, apologies to those of you that have been waiting this video for a while. Honestly, I recorded it about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and the file got corrupted. I got very mad and then completely forgot that I was meant to be doing it. For those of you that might be watching from Twitch, or those of you that might have followed from Twitch, you may remember this base. This was our previous stream base. So this is quite a big boy base that we ended up stopping playing because of lag. Well, technically it was a straw poll that ended the base, but we made a vote on it and we ended up starting a fresh one. But this was a build that we did on stream that I was quite happy with. One that we didn't really get to finish. We wanted to do some more with it, but you know, we did quite a lot with it. It was a build that was heavily inspired by Satirical Eve off Reddit, Satirical 364 on the Clay forums, and I will put a little link in the video description so you can see his original Reddit post. He came up with a nice way of handling the critters up here. But what this basically is, I'll run through what we're actually looking at. So the idea of this build is that it's a completely hands-off ranch. The only thing that we have to do in here is groom some critters occasionally, you know, with the old grooming station. But other than that, the critter numbers are managed themselves, the eggs are all managed themselves, the food for the critters is delivered into here by auto sweepers, all their byproducts or their waste products, it's all handled by sweepers. There's no dupe interaction apart from grooming the critters, and occasionally they might come and grab a blob of coal if there's any kicking around. The main feature here though is the fact that the critters automatically wrangle themselves, so the eggs automatically sustain the room itself. We're not using incubators, we are just wild hatching our eggs, but I'll explain how this all works now. So what we basically have, at the bottom here we have a sweeper that can reach the entirety of the stable. So these are 96 tile stables. So if any of you are wondering why we've got these little pneumatic doors here, it was basically to give us the right number of the room without making it look derpy. I kind of like how these look when they're open, looks a bit industrial. But yeah, the sweeper down here is on a critter sensor, and this basically will be active if it is above 8 critters in the room, and also on this clock sensor here. The reason we have this clock sensor is so that I can collect some of the coal periodically through the day, and also if there's any eggs, you know, kicking around, we want to be able to collect them. You can see we're currently moving an egg up here, so it's a nice time to explain this. Everything is on conveyor rails, so it's going to look a little bit busy in here, but I can talk you through it and it shouldn't be too bad. So as you can probably tell, this inner loader on both sides is for critter eggs. So we've currently got an egg coming up this line here. Now, the egg has been picked up because obviously this bottom sensor has detected that we don't need this egg to be in here. All eggs get picked up and swept up to here ultimately because of the clock sensor, but this one in particular we're scanning at the minute, we're keeping an eye on it. And the reason for that is up here we have a little conveyor shut-off. Now the conveyor shut-off has 2 routes that this egg can take. One is back into the stable and onto this little tile here. But if we don't need the critters, based on this critter sensor, if we've already got 8 critters in the room and we don't need it, it will actually detour. So this will get a green signal, and then the egg will detour back to where we are keeping our eggs in the base, which I might as well show you now. In the base we have a little cooking area. In the cooking area we have a little kill chamber, and this is basically where we deposit all of our eggs. As you can see, we've got quite a lot of eggs in here. This little kill chamber is just a single tile of liquid with some sweepers that can access it, so they can pick up the eggshell and the meat that comes out of here. And then obviously in this room we've got all our different cooking ranges, you know, our gas range, our grill, so if we want barbecue or if we want, you know, to do something with the meat, we can access it and send it to where it's got to go. So again, all autonomous. The only thing the dupes have to do is turn up and cook. Everything else is sent to different parts of the base. So we've got a line here for coal and a line for eggshell and malt from crabs and all sorts of stuff. We do have a crab ranch down here, which is the same build as well, pretty much. Just a couple of tweaks to make it friendly for polluted dirt. But just to keep on explaining this conveyor line, what's basically going to happen on this case, the line is going to stay green, so this egg is going to be diverted. Alright. There we go. And then this egg now goes back to the base to be dropped into our little kill chamber. However, if we had some critters die off, the egg would be dumped on this tile. Now, the reason we've done this up here is because there's an interesting mechanic with baby critters. Baby hatches can't climb up ladders, upstairs. They can't climb one tall you know, jumps. Normal hatch. Jeez, can't speak. Normal hatches can obviously leap up two high tiles. Baby hatches can't leap up one, nor can they jump gaps. So what we have here is a couple of pneumatic doors. The idea for these is that periodically throughout the day, these doors will open at the top, and I've just got two clock sensors here that do that for me. I've got a sensor here and a sensor here, and I can actually trick this just to show you. If I move that to there for a minute, what will basically happen is the top doors will receive a green signal, and they will just open up. And then if we did have an adult hatch here, if we had a baby that had grown up into an adult, he can then hop over this gap and hopefully will be captured when the door closes again. And if he is, he'll fall into the build. And that's why I've got two of these clocks on the same wire. You could have 5, you could have 10 if you wanted to give you a better chance of dropping your hatch in first time. But to be honest, I don't really need it. I've got 4 hatch ranches in this base. I've got another 2 over here as well. I don't really need it. So 2 clocks was fine for me. I quite like the symmetry of it. But that's how we deliver our adults back into the build. So what that means is there is a slight downtime because we're waiting for the hatches to hatch naturally. We're not incubating them. But also then they have to grow into an adult, which is another 5 cycles. To be honest though, I'd rather do that than have my dupes running around, wrangling critters, incubating them, and just messing about, you know, tending to numbers of live critters. I'd rather deal with them in egg form. So the fact that we can handle the eggs, send them to the base, let them hatch in here, kill them off because they'll drown in the water, get the meat, get the eggshell, manage the numbers in the room. That's why I like this build. So again, hats off to Satirical for coming up with the original shut-off idea. It's a great idea. As I say, it does also work for crabs. You can do the same thing with the old poker shells. The only difference is you need a kill room. I currently don't have a kill room because we abandoned this base before I finished. But ultimately, all you need to do is have either a room of extreme temperature or a way of killing them. You can't drown the crabs, unfortunately. That's a terrible thing to say. Peter's going to be on me for that one. You can't drown the crabs because they love water, so you'd need another way of killing them. And from what I've seen, I think a lot of people have been doing it with extreme temperatures, so extreme cold or extreme hot, and then you get your poker shell, your molt. So that's that, guys. I hope that's in some ways informative. I hope that helps. As I say, this was a very big base, so we did have quite a lot of dupe power. We're currently running a 36 dupe base on this one, so we had a lot of power to go around. I do have some other ranches to the south of the base as well. We've got some slickster ranches down there, and we've got critters all over the base in this one, so it's quite a critter friendly base. But this is how we decided to deal with our hatches and our crabs. So as ever, I hope that helps. If you'd like to come and catch me live, I'll be on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday from 4 PM BST. But if you've got any questions, just give me a shout in the YouTube comments. There won't be a save file attached with this video. Normally I would give you a save file to have a tinker with yourself. Because this playthrough is still being uploaded to YouTube, I'll normally put the save on the final video in the playthrough. So if you haven't before, if you want to come and watch us basically build this base from cycle 1 all the way to 1160, it is currently live on YouTube, and I'll give you a little link down below as well for that. So much love as ever, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.